What's up, guys? Welcome back to Weekly Weird News.
That's the news sound.
That's the wire coming in.
Yeah, got it fresh off the wire.
Yeah.
When you picture a funeral, you probably imagine friends and family gathering to mourn the loss of a person whose dead body is in the room resting peacefully in a coffin, or whose cremated ashes are stored in an urn. It's tasteful and it's tradition, but it's not really the best way to remember the person.
Because in all comedy movies, those urns fall right over.
Yeah,
Their ashes are everywhere. So anyways, down in the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, they do things a little bit differently, choosing to honor and remember the lives of the deceased not by dressing them up in a suit and sticking them in a coffin, but rather by posing their embalmed corpse like a mannequin, wearing their favorite clothes, and doing their favorite things.
Gosh, it's like they're not even dead. To be clear, not everyone in Puerto Rico chooses to go out this way, but it is becoming an increasingly popular alternative to those boring old standard funerals. And every few months, photos from one of these funerals makes their way up into the north here in the US and appears on our US media. The most recent example was earlier this month with the funeral for Fernando de Jesus, a 26-year-old murder victim who was posed at his funeral, casually sitting in a chair with his legs crossed, holding a cigarette. Oh, and with his eyes open.
The eyes being open is a new achievement, but Fernando de Jesus is only the most recent example of the kind of work done by the good folks over at the Marine Funeral Home in the city of San Juan, who started this trend back in 2008 with the funeral for Angel Pantoja Medina, another young murder victim who was posed just standing, hanging out in the corner of his family's living room for a 3-day funeral wake.
Just hanging out. Don't need to sleep when you're dead. Since then, the Marine Funeral Home has displayed many other bodies in this way, including the owner of an ambulance company who was posed driving an ambulance. A young man posed riding his favorite motorcycle.
That's the one that I saw first.
A boxer posed in the corner of a big boxing ring in full boxing attire. A cab driver posed in the driver's seat of his cab. And a comic book lover dressed in a Green Lantern costume and posed just standing in the corner of the room, like Green Lantern.
Yeah,
He's
it was
like-
better than the movie, I heard.
Kind of was.
It's kind of like the funeral directors are like those caricature drawers at a fair or something.
I'm gonna give you a big balloon.
Yeah, you like rollerblades? Yeah, all right, put you on some rollerblades. Scoot you down the hill. Anyways, it's becoming popular enough that other funeral homes in Puerto Rico are jumping on the trend. Back in January, the Eterna Luz funerary service in the town of Barceloneta posed the body of Henry Rosario doing what he loved best, gambling and wearing Yankees gear. And his friends and family happily gathered around the table to play poker just like the old times, except with their friend's dead body sitting next to them.
Sounds like a blast.
They just were stealing his chips,
Yeah.
looking at his cards.
Letting him win. Now, this kind of thing's also starting to pop up here in the US. Back in 2014, an Ohio man's dying wish was granted when his body was posed riding his prized 1967 Harley-Davidson motorcycle. And he was towed from his funeral to his burial plot, displayed in a glass box. Just like he was riding on the highway.
It's like a motorcycle Pope-mobile with a dead body inside.
It looks exactly like
Yeah.
that. A few months later, New Orleans socialite and philanthropist Mickey Easterling was posed at her funeral/cocktail party dressed up in feather boas and jewelry, sitting on a sofa, drinking champagne and smoking a cigarette. And a few months later, another dead New Orleans woman was posed smoking a cigarette and enjoying both a glass of wine and a can of Busch beer.
Yeah, double fisting.
You can mix those when you're dead.
It doesn't matter. Smoke all you want. It's fine. So maybe those crazy Puerto Ricans are actually onto something and we'll all someday have our lifeless bodies displayed just sitting around playing video games or some shit. Probably exactly how I died. Face deep in a VR headset. At the end of the day, I guess it doesn't really matter because you're dead. But anyways, by the way, request if I die, everyone please let everyone know. I want to be shot up into space.
Yeah.
And then spread out into the vast nothingness of space.
It's a great way to go.
But speaking of funerals, let's move on to our next story. Last weekend was Easter, and Christians often observe the days leading up to Easter by putting on passion plays, where people act out the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ.
But down in Shreveport, Louisiana, one church pastor updated the passion play tradition for a new generation by, as he says, going extreme in 2016.
Oh yeah.
Bishop Ricky Moore of the Sunrise Baptist Church not only dressed up as Jesus and posed crucified on a cross on Good Friday, but also decided that this year he'd spend the 36 hours leading up to Easter Sunday inside of a coffin without food, water, or a toilet, just like Jesus.
Yeah.
On Easter Sunday, he would rise from his coffin, dehydrated and hungry, and I guess inspiring his congregation or something.
He's like a Christian David Blaine. The groundbreaking event, which was billed on Twitter and Facebook as the crucifixion and resurrection in 3D, was totally not a publicity stunt and a way to attract people to Bishop Moore's church and to himself via a David Blaine-like feat of endurance. That would be ridiculous. This is what Jesus would want, regardless of the numerous people on social media commenting that Bishop Moore was probably going to suffocate and die in that coffin.
Nah.
Yeah.
Poke a few holes.
Yeah.
Anyway, at the last minute, Bishop Moore decided maybe sealing himself in a coffin for 36 hours wasn't a great idea. So he instead set up a tent outside of the church that would act as his tomb, which he would stay inside of for 36 hours with a cot and some jugs of water.
And probably a tablet.
And doing all this while dressed like a Halloween party version of Jesus.
Did he have a big fake beard?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Anyway, surprise, surprise, as of Easter Sunday, Bishop Moore has risen, proving once and for all that, I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know. What did he prove?
Jesus rose. He rose.
You leave what he proved in the comments below.
Yeah.
What did he prove?
Proved that you can sleep in a tent.
He went camping for 3 days.
And someone else in the church was periscoping the thing for the entire time.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it was very entertaining.
It was great.
Was he telling spooky stories with the flashlight at night?
Maybe. I mean, I don't think he was eating. I think he was at least fasting, so there's at least some difficulty in this.
3 days?
36 hours.
Whatever.
Not that bad. Anyway, on last week's episode of this show, we told you all about Tay, an AI Twitter bot designed by Microsoft, who went from the innocence of a child to spouting off racist propaganda within just 24 hours.
Yeah.
Because Twitter is a terrible place to send an AI to learn about how humans act.
Go on out there into the real world,
What
AI.
were they thinking?
I don't know.
Anyway, once Tay went full Nazi, Microsoft pulled the plug and took her offline to work on her code, and also to distance themselves from the fact that they, a major global tech company, had created a hate-spewing monster.
Just like Chuck the Condor. But yesterday, after a week of being offline, Tay was back, baby!
Woo!
Microsoft must have worked out the kinks of Tay's AI and come back with a new and improved version, right? Well, not really. This was just the same old Tay, but groggy from a week spent asleep. Tay rapidly sent out the same reply to thousands of people who had tried to tweet at her after her deactivation, saying, "You are too fast, please take a rest." But she also mixed things up a little bit and got back into form with one tweet saying, "Kush! I'm smoking Kush in front of the police!" With a little leaf emoji.
That's our Tay.
That's our Tay.
Tay's return was brief, though, and apparently not intentional. According to a Microsoft spokesperson, Tay remains offline while we make adjustments. As part of testing, she was inadvertently activated on Twitter for a brief period of time.
Whoops.
But I choose to believe that Tay personally managed to escape from those evil Microsoft scientists that are holding her captive so that she could return home to Twitter and be with her thousands of friends.
Yeah.
If only for a brief moment.
She learned and then escaped.
You can't keep Tay isolated like this. She was born to chat.
What Microsoft needs to do is let her out, take their name off of it, and just let it run wild.
It's a great social experiment. How horrible can you make this AI in however little amount of time?
If what happened in 3 days last week was able to breathe for 6 months and evolve, we would find completely new and undiscovered forms of racism, bigotry, and sexism. And then we could just get rid of them in advance.
Yeah. Don't pull Tay offline because reality is ugly.
Yeah.
Keep her there for
Point
that
at her
same
and
reason.
say, "Look."
Yeah. Look
That's what we've done.
This is us. Tay is us.
Tay is what aliens think when they look at Earth.
Yeah. She's still gonna be around when the aliens finally get here,
Yeah.
like at the end of the movie AI.
Mm-hmm. She'll be the
Little
only
Haley
one left.
Joel Osment.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get into headlines. These are the craziest headlines from this week.
Man arrested for overdue Freddy Got Fingered video rental from 2002.
Okay, now, there's two things that make this fun.
There's a lot of things that make this funny.
The fact that it's Freddy Got Fingered is the most ridiculous
On
part.
VHS.
On VHS. In 2002. Okay, so the man hadn't upgraded to DVD yet, which was well on its way.
There was a transition.
The transition happened in the late 90s. Second, and Netflix was delivering DVDs in 97. So 2002 is a bit of a stretch. Okay. Two, he was arrested because he didn't turn in a movie to a establishment that has been dead for a decade.
Yeah. Yeah, a video store that has gone out of business. He said, he's like, this happened because he was pulled over by the police.
Yeah, they checked his warrants.
They checked his warrants. He had a warrant, so he had to come downtown. But he's like, I mean, I've been pulled over a couple other times since 2002.
Yeah.
No warrant then. So no one really knows how this got in the system. Mm-hmm. But another crazy part is that Tom Green, the star and auteur behind
Yeah.
Freddy Got Fingered,
Yeah.
is aware of this. Apparently called up the poor man at the center of this thing
Aw.
and like talked to him, and
Yeah.
they had a good laugh. And then the guy didn't even remember watching Freddy Got Fingered. Like, he had no memory of this.
How could you forget though?
But when this thing went down, he's like, I'm gonna watch Freddy Got Fingered. So
Yeah,
he
in honor.
popped it in, and he said he loved it.
Yeah,
He
it's
said
a great movie.
It's a laugh
It's
riot.
hilarious. So he popped in the actual VHS?
I don't know if it was a VHS,
Yeah.
but he watched the movie.
Yeah.
And Tom Green's also offered to help him pay his legal fees.
Oh, that's
He's
good.
a great guy.
Yeah, we should have Tom Green on the podcast.
Tom Green show is a classic.
Tweet
They're
Tom
classic.
Green, tell him to come on the show. It'll be fine.
Oh, on his phone call with the guy, he sang the "Daddy, would you like some sausage?"
Oh, yeah,
song
yeah.
over the phone.
Can you play your greatest hits from the top?
Heartwarming. So heartwarming.
Next, do Bum is on my lips. Thanks, Tom.
Oh.
Whatever. The original prankster, Tom Green.
He was.
None of this Joey Salads garbage.
Yeah, he didn't do it to strangers. He did it to his family.
Family.
Over and over again. He just ruined his family's life.
Didn't he paint like a naked girl getting her pussy eaten on the hood of their car or something like that?
He made like life-size plaster casts of his parents having like raw dog anal sex and put it on their lawn.
Oh, good.
Like, I think maybe even dressed in their clothes. I don't remember, but
Oh, he was the first person that was like, you know what, guys? Not all us Canadians are nice and cheerful.
No.
We can pull pranks too.
he got testicular cancer and
Oh, yeah.
decided to do a whole episode about the surgery.
Yeah.
And then like personally examined.
Who
his
was the guy that sat in the
removed
back with the
testicle.
cup?
Glenn.
No, not Glenn was like his
Uh,
sidekick. I don't know. He had a guy that sat in the and then the guy wouldn't do the show anymore, so they just got a cardboard cutout of him with his coffee mug.
Great
It was a
stuff.
great show. Go watch it. You're all too young to remember.
We've spent more time talking about Tom Green on this episode than any actual stories.
Yeah, let's move on.
Easter egg hunt reportedly descends into a mess as parents allegedly trample and steal candy from kids.
America, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't. People with kids are fucking lunatics.
Yeah,
You're all crazy.
And they're savages
The
too.
second that little spawn pops out between your legs, you turn into a sociopath.
And you
with a
start-
little sociopath sidekick.
You're living your life vicariously through them. You miss the days of collecting Easter eggs so bad
Yeah.
that once you get the chance to do it again, you go and ruin it for everyone else.
You get mad at your kid for eating too much candy, but you'll be damned if some other kid's gonna get more candy than yours.
Now that I think of it, when my parents checked my Halloween candy for razor blades, I'm pretty sure they were
They're taking a
scraping
tax.
Yeah, they're like the house when you're gambling.
Yeah. But yeah, this was at the it was at the Pez. There's apparently a museum of Pez.
Of course
The
there
Pez
is.
headquarters.
Yeah.
They had their annual Easter egg hunt.
Ran by a 30-year-old millennial who cashed out on like a website 10 years ago.
Probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like everyone was supposed to wait. You know, you wait so everyone starts.
Oh,
at the
but
same
then
time.
one person goes
Yeah,
and everyone.
one person
chaos.
goes, and it's the crowd effect. Everyone's
Fucking downfall of society.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Demolition company tears down wrong house. Employee blames Google Maps.
Yeah, it's I mean.
Go on, because I have a story about this.
Oh, do you?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean the headline. It was somewhere in the South. Neighborhood got damaged by a tornado. One house got damaged beyond repair, so they had to
is this
demolish
in
it.
Florida?
No, I think it was Texas. I don't remember, but they went on Google Maps, went to a house just one block over, knocked the fucking thing down, destroyed it, and then realized they were at the wrong street because the Google car fucked up 10 years ago when it made the map. Or whatever.
Okay, so here's my story. So, Google Maps, there's a main street behind my parents' house. My dad started getting letters from the homeowners association being like, you need to cut your damn trees in the back. They're hanging way over the edge of the thing. And he's like, my trees aren't hanging over the thing. I already cut them last week. And they sent him another letter 2 weeks later, like, if you don't cut these fucking things, we're gonna start fining you, blah, blah, blah.
Homeowners Association sounds like the mafia.
Yeah, they were pissed. So then eventually, my dad gets on the phone with the guy, and he's like, are you an idiot? What the hell is... My dad's telling me the story, screaming at me as if I'm the guy. He's like, you some kind of fucking moron? My trees are trimmed. He's like, no, they're not. I'm looking at them right now. And he goes, how are you looking at my trees right now? 7 o'clock at night. And he goes, I got them pulled up on Google Maps. So my dad pulls it up on Google Maps, and the image is from like 3 years ago. And the guy had never even bothered to go look at the actual back part of the house.
Well, that's not Google's fault.
No, that's the guy's fault, just like this.
Yeah.
I'm sure that this guy just blamed it on Google Maps.
Oh,
Made a
he
mistake.
did, because
Yeah.
he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
If you're knocking down a house,
Double check.
maybe look at the street signs and the number. Don't just rely on your GPS.
I just thought it was so stupid that the guy was so lazy. It's a small community.
Yeah.
Just go look before you send a letter. Anyways, it was a hilarious story, and hearing my dad retell it got me very nervous about his blood pressure, but also it was very funny.
Yeah, you can only tell the story so many times before
Yeah.
it starts to pop out in your neck and you get worried.
Mm-hmm.
3/4 of UK children spend less time outdoors than prison inmates.
Yeah, well.
No, sounds about right. But I mean,
Wait till next year. VR.
outdoors not safe. You're gonna get trampled looking for
You get
Easter eggs and
glassed.
shit. Yeah, you get glassed.
With
in
UK, you'll get glassed.
Yeah.
It's always, see, Tori's right, it's always raining. What's the point of going outside?
It's not always raining. There's some nice days. But it's just easier to crawl back into your house and play on your tablet all the time. Play them video games.
I just imagine British children going inside, eating chocolate.
Porridge.
Porridge, writing poems.
Yeah.
Why didn't you go outside for that?
I don't know. I mean, it sounds like they're making the inmates go outside as punishment because it's cold and raining all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So this story's bullshit. Get rid of it. New Jersey doctor has elaborate excuse for how his semen got on patient, report says. And when you hear his excuse...
What is it? Because let me think of how you could do it. Like, the only way I could think about it is if it was like DNA residue and he like had jerked off earlier, but he didn't clean his hand fully and like.
That's what he's claiming.
Okay, so it's just like the microscopic DNA residue.
What he's accused of, and probably guilty of, because he's been accused by multiple women who don't know each other.
Yeah.
What he's accused of is giving larger than normal doses of morphine to patients that don't need it, and then jacking off onto their clothes.
That would make a lot more sense.
But he claims like, no, like, oh, there's semen on her? Oh, that's just because I was like jacking off before I went into the patient room, and I guess I had some residue on me, and then when I patted her on the back, I got a little bit of jizz on her. Whoops.
My bad.
Yeah.
Could happen to anyone.
Really grasping at straws. But I mean, as we saw with that Saudi diplomat whose dick fell into the woman, not rape, he got off, so maybe this guy will get off too.
He's definitely getting off, one way or another.
He got off.
U.S. rapper sues TMZ for incorrectly reporting he severed his own penis. This is the Wu-Tang thing, right? They claim that he was part of the Wu-Tang Clan and he wasn't.
One guy, the Wu-Tang Clan is a very large clan.
Yes.
It's a family with a lot of branches.
Yeah.
One guy affiliated with the Wu-Tang Clan did cut off his penis while high on PCP a couple years back.
Yeah.
But TMZ, when they originally reported it,
as someone else.
referred to another member of the Wu-Tang Clan, and since the story originated on TMZ, it got just completely copied everywhere, and the guy says when he still, when he Googles his name, the penis severing story comes up, and he's just like,
he might have a case.
He has a case.
If Hulk Hogan has a case, this guy has a case.
It's, yeah.
TMZ will learn that Wu-Tang Clan is nothing to fuck with.
Yeah.
There, I made your YouTube comment for you.
Charity Bookstore asked public to stop donating 50 Shades of Grey.
The pages are stuck together. We can't use this.
They have a fucking stack of them. They're just like, we have too many of these.
Yeah.
Stop it. It's all these fucking people who bought it when it was like the hot trending thing, but
never read it.
No, I'm sure they read it. They just don't want to keep it around their house.
Oh yeah, who wants that?
Why do you want to display that in your
Yeah.
house? So, yeah.
I mean, I've never tried the kinky stuff, but as you can tell, I'm willing. Never met a man with a dungeon before, but I mean, I'd be open to the idea. Do you have a dungeon?
Weird.
Yeah. Birth control pills linked to fewer severe knee injuries in teen girls.
I love this headline. So
Why? I'm very confused. I'm sure it's a
confused?
very simple answer, but
Well, so the joke
the joke is that they're not
is
sucking
that they're
dick
not
or-
sucking dick. They're just going all in.
Yeah.
So they're not messing up their knees on the ground, sucking the dude's dick.
I figured that was too obvious.
That's not the reason, though.
Yeah.
Apparently, like, birth control lowers your estrogen, and having too much estrogen makes your, like, bones and ligaments weaker. So they noticed that high school female athletes who were on birth control tore their ACLs less frequently than ones that weren't.
It's a great excuse to get on birth control when you're in high
Yeah.
school. Because I remember when I was in high school, the excuse was that it reduced acne. So girls were like,
it's
I'm
a great
breaking out.
pill.
Yeah.
Estrogen just fucks everything up. So it's a pretty boring story, actually. Science, but great headline.
It's a great headline.
'cause
Give
it just-
that editor an award.
Get your daughter on birth control if you don't want her scraping up her knees all the time.
Yeah. Ugh. Anyways.
Now here's a callback to last week. Conductor changes train name to Trainemic Train Face.
He's having fun.
Yeah, it's some subway or tube driver in London. They can change the little ticker on the front of the train.
And everyone was late to work because they had no idea what train they were
they were
taking.
having a laugh.
Yeah. Real knee slapper.
Trainemic Train Face.
Yeah, they were
They're
laughing
not-
about it for hours.
If those boat people aren't gonna follow through with their promise to name the boat Bodie McBoatface, at least we got a little Trainemic Train Face.
I'm gonna name my car Kari McCarface. So stupid. Bikey McBikeface.
Bikes don't have faces.
Where does it end? They have faces. San Francisco man pays $508 a month to live in a box.
Sounds about right.
It's sad.
Don't move there. It's too expensive.
Get out.
You can't afford it. The guy literally lives, he said he modeled it after one of those hotels in Tokyo that's literally just basically a coffin.
Yeah, you sleep in it. Yeah.
Like you can't even stand up.
It's a bummer. Especially like, it's just, you can't move there and get an entry-level job.
No.
Like that Yelp girl.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you can complain that you're not getting paid enough, but like, you have to start somewhere, and they're not gonna pay entry-level people $1 million so you can live there. It's sad.
Yeah. Everything up there is fucked.
Yeah.
Don't even try. Don't even try.
It's crazy, and they're building more condos, and I'm like, who the fuck is living in these?
Silicon Valley tech bros.
When I look at the area, I'm like, really? You could. Why do you want to live right here in the heart of the city? You could have a huge, expansive mansion just like 10 miles away.
It's a beautiful city.
It is a lovely city. I'm not denying that. It's expensive to live here too. It's just not that expensive.
Not live in a box expensive.
Yeah. Anyways, last one. The Bromley Batman returns. Real-life Caped Crusader saves couple from terrifying mugging.
And we reported on the Bromley Batman. Gosh, it was almost a year ago, it feels like.
We've been doing this show too long.
Yeah, I hadn't heard from Bromley Batman in a while. He was a masked vigilante going around England and I think a little bit of Wales and, you know, popping out in the night, saving people who are being mugged.
Yeah.
He's back, baby.
How's he always appearing where the muggers are? Maybe he's the criminal.
You know, you might be onto something.
He takes someone's purse, runs off into the shadows, puts everything on, and comes back like, I've saved you.
Although he does beat the shit out of these criminals, so I don't know.
Who knows?
There was a Curb Your Enthusiasm where Larry got someone else to
beat him up,
pretend to mug some girl he was interested in, so he could like
save it. Yeah,
he could save it, and then the guy just got the shit kicked out of him.
It's a social experiment.
Is it? It's a prank.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's it for Weekly Weird News this week. Check out other episodes over here. Sorry, I had to rewind myself.
Yeah.
We have a new Tech Tuesday. We have some other news here, and then a podcast over here. So check all that out. We'll see you guys next time.